This is Las Vegas Real Estate Now, where we bring you the 3 E's: educate, empower, and engage. I'm your host, Harvey Blankfeld, and we've been selling homes here in Southern Nevada since 1988. And with me in studio right now, I have John Morgan from Equity Title. He's the Vice President and Title Manager for Equity Title of Nevada, and he's been doing this equity title work for 30 years. John, I wanted to talk to you first about a little bit about this topic that it's funny. Jeff's partner Bill's talked about this, is forgeries. And when we're closing deals, you guys have to be extraordinarily diligent and protective. Tell me about forgeries.
We do. As part of what we do every day, when we're searching the public records to a particular piece of property in anticipation of it being sold or a loan being made secured by that property, we have to sometimes review hundreds of documents and look for little signs, little clues, little telltale indications that perhaps this document needs some further investigation.
Okay.
And sometimes it'll turn out that the document in question is perfectly legitimate.
Right.
Oftentimes it's a deed, that we're questioning.
Okay.
Perhaps an uninsured deed, meaning a title company didn't record it. Sometimes they've got notary publics in cahoots with them. Sometimes the ring of criminals' behavior is even larger than that. And obviously the best outcome in this situation, if you're say for example a buyer buying a piece of property and an individual is holding himself out to be the seller, the owner of the property, it could turn out that seller is actually using an improperly executed power of attorney.
Yeah.
Or it could be that the seller is really a trust and somebody's holding themselves out to be the
trustee.
The trustee. Should something slip by us, the fraud isn't discovered until after the purchase takes place, that's when you want to you'll be thankful if you're a buyer that you've got your title insurance policy.
That's where title insurance comes
Absolutely.
into play. Well, can you imagine being the buyer of a home and finding out you just bought the home from somebody who isn't the seller?
Right.
Wow.
Right, and that's when things can go sideways really quickly, and
then you're glad,
law
like you said,
enforcement gets involved, courts get involved,
But unfortunately, I mean, like when they do it online, John, and I know you've been exposed to or heard these stories. When they do it online, more times than not, that criminal is not even in the country.
Oh, absolutely.
And that money's gone. That money's long gone.
Absolutely. If a criminal's targeting a piece of property to commit real estate fraud, they're looking for an ideal piece of property. They're oftentimes looking for an out-of-state owner, property that's not subject to a loan that will involve a payoff. They're hoping to get in, get out, get a quick cash sale, and take the money and run.
As a title company, what do you do when a lien was filed, but maybe it is not legitimate? How do you guys handle something like that? Well,
I'll tell you, it's a tough subject, because on the one hand, you certainly don't want to conclude that this lien is illegitimate, and voidable, and should have no legal force or effect. And ignore it. But on the other hand, requiring a release from the person who recorded that lien plays right into their hands, in that they can
I'll give you the release, give me the money.
Give me $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, whatever it is they're seeking.
You've been listening to Las Vegas Real Estate Now with host Harvey Blankfeld. Please tune in every Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on News Talk 720 KDWN.